In our news bulletin for this evening, the Foreign Fisheries Agency is assisting Niue with an implementation plan for marine surveillance to stop illegal fishing. Academics present papers at the Pacific Island Political Studies Association meeting this week held in Niue. Vanilla Niue showcase at the Fine Food Expo in New Zealand has increased exposure and demand for organic vanilla. The Alofi South Marine Day over the weekend started off events as a lead-up to the Village Show Day this coming Saturday. Illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing activity is becoming a global issue, which includes the Pacific region. Fisheries resources in the Pacific region is now under more surveillance because of the significant cost implications of an estimated $660 million worth of fish unaccounted for during a study period to devise a surveillance plan of action to stop it from continuing in the region. A surveillance operations officer from the Pacific Foreign Fisheries Agency is in Niue to assist with the implementation of that plan with our fisheries officers and Niue Police.
The work that the Foreign Fisheries Agency is doing with the Niue Fisheries this week is to develop a national plan of action to address illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing activity. This plan will outline the various actions, particularly at the national level, that Niue will undertake to address IUU fishing, but will also highlight some of the regional cooperation that Niue involves or participate in to also address this activity. The benefits of this work to Niue fisheries particularly is that fishing activities, particularly by foreign fishing vessels in Niue exclusive economic zone, will be done in accordance with the national laws of Niue. But more importantly, it will ensure that there is sustainable harvest of the tuna fisheries within Niue EEZ. But I guess more importantly, it has economic benefits to Niue as well, in that fishers, particularly foreign fishing vessels that undertake fishing in Niue EEZ, do undertake those fishing activities through legal means. So therefore, fishing activities are not being done by illegal fishers. So that's basically what the document will try and address. So we're pleased that we're doing this work along with Niue Fisheries this week.
According to Alan Rahari, this plan of action will be implemented through a number of means like monitoring of fishing boats in Niue's exclusive economic zone, inspection of the catches, but more importantly, it involves intensive regional cooperation, which means not only will Niue be looking after its marine resources, but also other islands in the Pacific region.
This particular plan of action will be reviewed on a 4-year basis. So once it comes to the 4 years, it will be renewed. But more importantly, it will be renewed on an ongoing basis. As new measures come into play, this document will be reviewed as well. Illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing is a significant problem in the Pacific Island region. So the nature of the tuna that we try to manage doesn't recognize any boundaries. Therefore, there is a need to collectively work together to address illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing. Because, you know, tuna fish do travel from one particular EEZ to another EEZ, and therefore it requires a collective approach to addressing this issue.
This plan of action initiative is funded by the Pacific Island Foreign Fisheries Agency that was established in 1989 with the aim of maximizing the financial benefits from harvesting fisheries resources in the Pacific region. More than 20 members of the Pacific Island Political Studies Association are in Niue for a 2-day meeting that was held at the Niue Golf and Sports Club. The 2-day workshop is self-funded by PIPSA and supported by the State Society and Governance in Melanesia program at the Australian National University. There have been a wide range of topics covered by academics who have published papers and conducted research in the Pacific, and this year's theme is political change in Oceania, local, national and regional challenges. PIPSA is now a leading international academic body devoted to the study of Pacific Island states and territories, their societies, politics and systems of government, and International Relations. We spoke to the PIPSA Vice Chairperson earlier today about the meeting.
The objectives, one of the objectives is to bring scholars and academics together from various parts of the Pacific and of course also internationally to present research, present papers, present opinions in their respective fields, and out of that, as well as the sharing and the collegiality and the knowledge production, that there is an opportunity for these ideas to be made relevant at the ground level to our Pacific communities.
While the majority of PIPSA's members are academics, members also come from the ranks of aid workers, business people, the clergy, military officers, politicians and public servants. Niue has a local chapter of PIPSA and consists of people who have attended previous conferences, and we asked Professor Koloamatangi about the membership of this organization.
It's informal, but you need to belong, obviously, and you need to, there's a formal way to become a part of PIPSA, member of PIPSA. But I think it's done in a very pacific way, in that no one is excluded, and all views are taken on board. There's no discrimination, if you can put it like that. So it's quite good, and I like the idea that PIPSA is brought to the islands. Sometimes people, would like to have it maybe in a more metropolitan country, for example, in New Zealand or Australia and so forth. But I like it when we bring it, in this case, of course, in this instance, to Niue. And it's good because, as I said before, if your findings are not benefiting the people who you are researching, I don't see the point in it. So to come to Niue, and we've got a session on Niue today, that's great. I love it, and it's good. It's good interaction. The local people here interact, ask questions, comments, and so forth. That's what it's for.
There was also local participation at the workshop, and comments from a few of the participants highlighted the value of having such discussions and knowledge sharing. But this also raises an issue about the research from an outside perspective and the need for more contributions from within the Pacific.
Political science and international relations and so forth are not perhaps areas where our Pacific people I won't say interested in, because politics is always interesting, but maybe they've looked at maybe becoming economists or doctors and lawyers and so forth. But I think regardless of your academic or research background, we all need to think about doing research and publishing and being a part of the dialogue. Because if you're not part of the dialogue and you don't present your views and so forth, then of course you're not a part of it. And we shouldn't then criticize others. When I say others, I'm saying non-Pacific people, researchers. When they come to these conferences and they present their points of view, and they publish books and articles and so on, and in actual fact, we are relinquishing our right and responsibility to present our views. So you're absolutely right. We need to encourage more and more. I see a lot of upcoming political scientists, political scientists and researchers in this field, but we need to be doing a lot more.
The meeting will conclude this afternoon with a roundtable of Niue politics and PIP's general meeting. These experts are due to depart the island tomorrow, and a report will be collated with a wide range of papers that have been presented. Niue Vanilla International received an overwhelming response from the business fraternity, especially those in the food and hospitality industry, at the recent Fine Food Expo in New Zealand. This is something business owner Stan Kalauni wants to capitalize on, as he's not only putting his Niue Vanilla International business on the global market. There were people at the expo who asked where Niue is on the world map. So for him, it was a priceless exercise to market his organic vanilla business and Niue at the same time.
It really went beyond our expectations. It was really, really good. The feedback was just, again, beyond our imagination, expectations. And now the demand for our products now has just gone over the roof, especially in the New Zealand market. Suppliers, chefs, and people who normally use vanilla are now aware there is another product out there which is actually more superior than what's been available on the market. They've been asking where have been selling vanilla, our new vanilla, and basically we've been selling online, orders online, because now they're not really available off the shelves in New Zealand. We will also use that exhibition to launch and promote our products to the New Zealand market by introducing our products into the shop shelves, which is going to be sold through trade aid shops. The trade aid chain has got more than 20 shops all over New Zealand. There are 8 shops in Auckland alone. And we'll be selling all our vanilla products through trade aid. They are really all about fair trade. And also we'll be selling through organic shops, specialized organic shops. People won't find our products in the supermarkets, which is a high-end product, specialty product, so it's actually targeted the high-end consumer.
The vanilla growing industry began in Niue a while back, and while there were challenges, Stan saw a potential to revive the product. He has been as far as Australia to market vanilla. Chose to grow his own vanilla organically because he was aware of the worldwide demand for it.
Not many people are fully aware that there are 2 different varieties of vanilla out there in the market. One is actually the Purpin variety, which is planifolia, and the other one is the Hidiensis, which we have, which have more aroma. You can smell it 10 meters, 20 meters away, whereas the other variety is very, very hard to smell. You have to get really close to it before you can get the aroma out of it, the planifolia.
So do you think that you'll have the market in you to cater for the demand?
Yes,
from the producers?
There's a huge demand out there. Now we just have to do our homework here on the ground, start working on our production. Our farm at Hakupu is starting to get back on track now. It doesn't come cheap, but you have to invest money to make money. And in this sort of product, it will take years before we actually start to reap the benefits. Now that we are starting to reap it, we're not even there. We're not recovered all our costs that we've spent over the last 5 years. Once we get our products in the shops in New Zealand, when people buy them all over the country, then we'll have to keep supplying them, and that's where the game starts, when you start to reap the benefits.
The challenge for Mr. Kaloni now is to engage vanilla growers in Niue to supply the raw material. He has recruited people from overseas to work on his vanilla farm and has offered them to local vanilla growers for help. He said it may take a few more years before the potential of vanilla production in Niue is fully realized. The Kaloni Sea Track at Alofi South was jam-packed on Saturday with fisherfolk and spectators who were there for the Alofi South Marine Day. The day started in the early hours of the morning for those who went out fishing in the canoes and boats. According to one of the fishermen that went out on the traditional canoe, they were somewhat unlucky, but the day was eventful, and it was good to see friends from the outside villages coming to support the annual Village Marine Day. This was one of the activities that the Village Council had arranged leading up to the Village Show Day on Saturday. The day ended with prize giving and a cookout feed around the fire and entertainment after a very long day. And that concludes our news bulletin for this evening. We do hope you can join us again for our next news bulletin next week. Don't forget to go and check out the Alofi South Village Show Day that will be held at Halamahanga on Saturday.